from Tennessee State University, and the topic is the criminal justice system in the United States. And Dr. Wokoji, I think up until now you've given us some good information relative to the criminal justice system, and I think that for the most part it's clear that wherever that system is found, whether it's in Washington, D.C., in Maryland, or wherever, that there are some common problems in the system. Let's look, during this last part of the segment, over this last 5.5 minutes that we have, let's look at a solution to some of the problems that you've already outlined. What do you see, after all of those years in practical experience and academic experiences, what do you see as some of the possible solutions to the problems that we face?
Well, to a greater extent, I don't feel comfortable using the word solution. I think the appropriate term here to use is alternative means. Alternative in a sense that today when you look at all the measures that have been taken within the criminal justice system, the result is to a zero base. It is simply not deterring crime. Rather, there's always an increase here. Even though in the 90s, the homicide rate has reduced to some level. But here, in this case, I would advocate scholars like James Q. Wilson recently came out with a very strong proposition here as an alternative means here. One of the suggestions that he gave, and I strongly welcome that, is that we need to move from a more reactive mode to a proactive mode. What this simply means is that the police in the United States, what they do simply here is to arrest and prosecute. But in this case, what he advocated here, which I simply sanction, is that a proactive means. He saw that as a plausible strategy by which police has to be a solution-oriented type of organization. That is to say, you have to be part of the community. Part of the community in the sense that you should work as a social worker, as a sociologist. That is to say, you are in a position to understand this behavior because individuals with criminal behavior simply did not emerge in isolation. There must be certain variables that contributed to that behavior. And so if a police officer or other law enforcement agency understands this major assumption, he should be able to work with the individual should he be arrested in a neighborhood. Say, for example, you saw what happened in Florida. LAPD. The LAPD has a culture that is well known in this country. And they are known for its racial overtone and epithets. Take, for example, in the case of OJ, every one of us knows it's very sensitive, that has something to do with race here, to a certain magnitude. I'm not saying that OJ did it or did not do it. That's not my assertion. But when you look at the entire history of the case, the way the evidence was collected, the way Detective Foreman rushed out of impulse and moved into OJ's domain without obtaining a warrant, is a clear indication here. And you saw his sayings and admission that this is what he did, and he apologized for that. And also you saw the Susan Smith's case, where a lady threw her 2 kids into the water and claimed that it was done by a black person. And many other incidents here. You saw the issue of Texaco with its racial epithets here. These things are simply institutionalized. So what we are saying here, what I am saying here in a nutshell is that police need to understand these variables. And if they can come to a conceptualization of these variables, then they should develop other alternative means should they ride in the neighborhoods of these minority communities. They don't have to act on impulse. You can also develop better means by which you can engage in one-on-one discussion. And from there, you can understand the sociology of this group of individuals.
Very good. So you find that, do you think that training, that kind of diversity training and sensitivity training and et cetera would be very, very important in helping to achieve these ends? Is that what we're saying?
Oh, very correct, very correct. Because what we saw with the LAPD and the Florida Police Department, it's nothing but an existing culture that is already defined. And it defines the working personality of police officers in that area.
Very good. And Dr. Wokoji, let me, during these last 30 seconds that we have, thank you for coming by and giving us that excellent information about the criminal justice system in America and about some of the other examples that you've used to give an illustration in terms of some of the challenges. We could call them problems, but some of the challenges that we face as a nation dealing with crime and dealing with punishment. And we certainly want to tell you how much we appreciate you coming by and taking the time to give us that information. And again, let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. And let me thank them and wish them a good morning. Thank you and good morning.
Thank you very much for inviting me.
Thank you for coming by.